Good evening and welcome to the Checkpoint. This is U24 Television, the National Youth Development. My name is John VIORY and I'll be hosting this show this evening. Today, we are looking at the topic, the road to peace, the legal position for holding a non-violent, free and fair election in Uganda. We shall be speaking matters of the law, and with me I have an able panel. And if you permit me, on my far left, I have Jack Musoke Kateba, who is appearing for his second time on the Checkpoint. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, President John. Good evening, our viewers. I'm glad to be here, and I really hope that we have a fruitful discussion with this great gentleman.
Thank you very much. And next, I have Martin Byomhanji. I think he has been a frequent visitor on the Checkpoint. Byomhanji, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Good evening, viewers. My name is Byomhanji Martin, and I'm here to share my opinion as far as elections in our country are concerned.
Thank you very much. And next, I have Odori Victor. Victor, he's making an inaugural appearance on the Checkpoint. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Your Excellence. Like you have introduced, I'm Odori Victor. I'm appearing on this Checkpoint for the first time. I'm glad to be here and to share with the viewers out there about elections, politics in this country. And as a young man who is so active politically, I feel this is the best place to be.
Thank you very much, Victor. The season we are in is a hot season, if I was to use the word hot. Politicians are now free to campaign, especially presidential candidates. Most have launched their campaign manifestos. And we have different political parties choosing their flag bearers, the most recent being the National Unity Platform. A lot has been said. But what does the law say? That's why we are here. And this evening, we want to start from the point of the campaign tone. What shapes the campaign rhetoric? We've had a lot of words. If you ask a normal NRM supporter, the Prime Minister has been reported today saying that we, the NRM, we are going nowhere. When I follow up some opposition campaigners, they say we are doing a protest vote. Why the rhetoric? I want to start with you, Jack. Why that kind of rhetoric?
Well, thank you, President John. When it comes to Uganda, it's, I think not Uganda only. I think it's world over. Elections are an emotional process, an emotional event. So there are some things we cannot do away with. There are some statements you have to expect from politicians. That's for a fact. Because, like I said, it's an emotional process and an emotional event. People become selfish in the process. Everyone wants to win. Specifically when it comes to Uganda, our case is a bit different because most of you will agree with me, there's something that we need to address urgently. That's the national growing hate. And it is something that is...
The national?
It is a national hate towards the current regime. We can always agree to disagree, but to me, I think it's something we need to address urgently. Because if we go by what the NRM government is saying, that they are securing the gates, protecting the gates. Yeah. You cannot protect the gates with threats. I mean, when you look at it logically, you cannot start threatening people, we are not going anywhere, we are going to do this. I mean, logically, it will be the opposite. Because, I mean, you have what to show, you tell people we've done this, you show them this. I mean, people will be appreciating. But in an event where over 4 million people in 2021 voted against the system, neglecting the other small numbers, I'm just focusing on the leading opposition people. That is something you need to really look at carefully. So there are some statements, President, you're not going to do away with. And that's only, you've just highlighted those two parties, but there are those who are saying we are defiant, we are not going to get involved. Today, I saw just recent, I think at around 7 on the news, now UPC youth in Lango are crossing over to NUP because they think they were denied a chance in the nomination of their presidential candidate. So you don't expect such youth to use civil language. That's how I look at it, sir.
Thank you very much. Victor, do you agree with that analysis?
Thank you so much, Your Excellence. I personally don't agree with that because, one, like his analysis, when you look at the 2021 general elections, out of the 45 million Ugandans, we had around 18 million that registered as voters. Out of the 18 million, 10 million plus voted, took part in the last elections of 2021. NRM got around 6 point something votes. Then NUP got 3 million plus. I would actually partly agree with what he said. Partly, yeah, because when you look at that voting margin, it really showed the country that you see there must be something that should be done. But of course, an election you must participate, isn't it? Yeah, there are those ones who actually took part as just participants in that election. However, when you look at that number that registered, you can ask yourself as an active Ugandan, where is the 8 million? Why did the 8 million fail to take part in the election? Okay, because the 8 million would have automatically, substantially changed the outcome of that election. If, for example, they voted massively for one candidate. I partly agree with him that there has been a growing hate among the members of the public. You see, this hate is not only caused by the manner in which an election is conducted, but the hate originates right from even our social life. How do people socialize, isn't it? Yeah, they are excuse me. There is a section of people who think NRM has the smaller numbers and have led this country for quite long. But I personally don't agree with that because I know NRM has organized, during NRM system, there have been several elections that have been organized along the way. From 1996, you come to around the 2001 elections, 2005, from 5 to 2010. That shows that this government has provided an avenue for people to decide for their leaders.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, Martin, the rhetoric that we are hearing from politicians, should we be worried in a sense that they are likely to make the law silent, or we shouldn't worry at all? And what is the role of the politicians and other stakeholders to ensure that this rhetoric does not lead to a violent election?
Well, I would like to base my argument on 2 natural laws. One, you cannot give what you don't have.
Absolutely.
You must have something
in order to give it.
To give it to me. 2, what you sow is what you reap. You don't sow a bitter fruit and you want to reap a sweet fruit. It's practically impossible. Now, in this game of elections, there is a referee who is electoral commission. Now, the prime minister is now a player who is in a playground. She's in this side, other players are in the other, opponent team is in the other side. So for us who got an opportunity of playing football, actually I can say something to make you lose sight while in the playground. I think that's what she's doing. However, we must not forget that those who made our constitution, in the preamble, they put remembering our history. Remembering our history. I think Uganda will have a history. If I take you back to 1980, why did President MUSEVENI, for example, go to the bush? Now, if we compare the situation then and today, what is the difference? I would like to take you to Article 1 of our Constitution. Power belongs to the people. They will exercise that power through a peaceful election. Now, an election is not an event. It's a process. It starts from when you are registering voters. And now, the challenge we have, we seem to deceive ourselves, and that takes you back to giving what you don't have. You will find that in a register, you say, I have, say, 18 voters registered. 18 million voters registered. But since 2001, why is it that every election, it's only 50-60% that votes? What does it tell you? And even in those less than 60% that votes, we all know that in 2006, the Supreme Court ruled that the election were rigged. However, the substantial test. But all 7 agreed. So it means even in the 50-60% who turn up to vote, there are also those who rig. So it means
the test you have talked about, the substantial test. The Supreme Court held that it was rigged, but not substantial enough.
So it did not pass the substantiality test.
The rate of rigging.
The results. Yes. But in principle, they agreed that the election was rigged. Now, I can predict today that come Feb 2026, we will have a presidential election petition, number 1, between YK and Chagulanyi. I can predict, and you will tell me.
Yeah, that
You see what?
Does that mean that there is confidence in the judiciary? Because now if you're saying, yes, there will be a petition, it means Ugandans have hope that the judiciary is going to work.
Of course, our constitution, the framers of constitution, were alive at the fact that we needed power, separation of powers. That's why we have legislature, we have judiciary, and executive. And the assumption is that judiciary should be doing its work independently. Yes. As we hope that the election, the Electoral Commission will perform its duties independently. That's the Constitution, I think, Article 62.
Yeah, Article 62.
Article 62
Provides for independence
of the Electoral Commission. However, what is the reality? We are all Ugandans. We've been here. I don't think there is a foreigner. Now, if I take you back, you see, if a political party cannot have a peaceful internal election, okay, and the same political party, by God's grace, come 2026, it is the one leading the country. Don't expect that political party to give you a free and fair election.
I want to go to Jack and ask him specifically whether there is a perfect election.
I would like to tell you something, and the panel here, in regards to specifically that question. You know, we're having two scenarios here, President, and I think this is the core of the entire conversation we are having here. Like it or not, a political party, one political party in Uganda, has given value to Article 1 of our Constitution, to a huge population, basically the youth, that power belongs to the people. Look at that perspective. On the other hand, us, the lawyers, the lawmakers, us, the people who are seated here, we know what to do. One thing that I've noticed ever since I joined law school, and that actually that has made me hate law and even hate lawyers so much, is that we know the problem. We know the problem. But most of us have just decided to betray the law. We know what to do. When you look at the framers of our Constitution, they were very alive to very many factors that are disturbing us right now, that are causing all these issues in the electoral processes and all that. These things are provided for in our Constitution if you sit and really read carefully. But ideally, Uganda would have a very peaceful election if us, the lawyers, specifically, starting with us who are seated here, decided not to benefit from the system by betraying the law and upheld the provisions of the Constitution. Because when you look at all these things, that's why me, on every platform I tell people, if we have people who have done their part in this country, we should start with the framers of our Constitution. Because, I mean, why would we have all these instances that have chased away the 8 million that my brother was talking about? 8 million people don't participate in this election, not because they are not voters, they qualify. And they are there, they are seated at home. You find some people telling you, I'm not going to participate. But why? Look at the events that have been happening. All as a result of betraying of the Constitution. From the Kisanja, the Tojikwatako. And in one way or another, surprisingly, a lawyer will be there. A lawyer will be in that process. So that means we, the gentlemen seated here, plus very many people out there, the lawyers, we know the problem, but we have just refused to do what is supposed to be done. And what have been the results? Electoral malpractices, killings, beatings, and all that. That's why we don't have a perfect election in Uganda. But ideally, if we sat down and tapped into the nervous system of each other, I think we would have a very peaceful election. If lawyers just sat down, specifically the lawyers, because that's a fraternity where I belong. If we sat down and just be like, you know what, Victor, let us do the right thing, I think we would have a very peaceful and perfect election.
Thank you very much. Victor is speaking about the roles of the lawyers. Let's go to security agencies. ensuring impartiality and public trust. We've seen today, I think the news we are reporting that Bobi Wine has been stopped from addressing a rally. He had a number of rallies, but one of them he was stopped from addressing the same. During election campaigns, we see most opposition candidates suffering the brunt of security officers. Don't pass here, don't address these people, don't do this, don't speak on this radio station, and all that. Is that one of the measures to ensure a peaceful election? Or it is one measure to create a violent election and to reduce competition as it should be?
Your Excellency, thank you so much. I wanted to briefly, just in a minute, respond to some issues that arose during their discussions. One of them is that there is no political party in Uganda that has carried out its internal elections without an issue arising. Check DP, go to FDC, go to all these other political parties. So even the nomination or actually the nomination of the flag bearers of no. To me, I thought it would actually do some of the other issues.
I've seen a complaint that you cannot replace a lawyer with a musician.
With a musician.
But a musician, if he's qualified.
Yes, qualifying, that qualification of A level, much as is one of the key requirements of one being a member of parliament. But I want to tell you, my brother, there are other things that you need to consider for someone to contest as a member of parliament. You cannot replace Methodist Segona with some, if you need people who can actually debate in parliament, you replace Methodist Segona. And with someone actually a new entrant, moreover, just a musician from the music industry. Okay? Then that one tells you the level of politics that we have actually the level of politics that we practice in this country. Then the other issue is, he said in the 2026 we shall have an election petition. Yes, it can arise, but that is one way of actually saying that the system has put up avenues where someone can constitutionally challenge if he has a grievance about an election.
So it is a vote of confidence.
Yes, in the judiciary, in the judicial system. Then the other issue also is that you see, when we go into that election, like we are heading into an election, he has anticipated such things happening. But I want to tell you that even in the big economies like USA, when Trump was defeated by Biden, he said they have cheated. Look at the economies that we actually admire so much, Kenya, in East Africa. Yeah. They still have issues in their political system. Go to Tanzania. The last time I saw a political opponent or an opposition leader that had been kidnapped and killed. Okay? So we just need to, first of all, change our mindset and realize that in politics, you need to tolerate each other.
Thank you.
And then back to the issue of security. You know, one thing I've learned from our politics in Uganda is that there is a group of people who actually want publicity. They seek publicity by doing what is not supposed to be done, such that the police they get into loggerhead with the police and seek sympathy from the public. If like for example, we're organizing a youth day, a youth celebration in our district, but because we had wanted to have it in another playground, some other leader said, because he's the incumbent, said, I'm going to have...
Which district is that?
Busia. I'm going to have my function on that day. We said, okay, much as we are the flag bearer, my candidate is the flag bearer, we decided to shift from where we were supposed to hold the function, having been cleared with the police and all the other security agencies. We decided to say, no, for us we don't want to get into antagonism with someone. Let's allow him carry out his event at that venue. For us, we are going to do it from another venue. Now, when you nominate as a presidential candidate, Electoral Commission has control over you, okay? Because you ideally become the property of the Electoral Commission. That's why you see Electoral Commission giving you security to protect you from anything that might arise. So, as opposition leaders, my call would be, one, if we have been, of course you need, much as you have that right under the law to carry out campaign, consult, when you have actually been nominated as the as a presidential candidate. You are not actually immune to the law. You are supposed to operate within the ambits of the law. So ideally, I would have proposed that you see, these leaders, these opposition leaders, should just follow the right thing, do the right thing at the right time. I don't think if any sober security official would actually antagonize such a person on his or her rally.
If they are following, okay, thank you very much. So Martin, I want you to create a response to that, but also address the issue of youth and campaigns. Why is it that it is the youth who engage in acts of violence? Are they used by politicians? And what is the role that we can assign to the youth? Can they be mobilizers instead of agitators of violence?
I think, first of all, I will not take Victor's pass because he's putting in emotions. So once you put emotions, we lose focus. The focus is we are all Ugandans. We see what happens every day. The procession is moving on smoothly. Nothing. Once the police enters, havoc. So do you want us to debate that? No.
So my point is that the security tells you what to do.
No.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and I have been there. Victor seems not to understand, but that is his opinion. Me, what I'm saying is that let us not put emotions. Let us discuss exactly what is happening.
Yes, exactly.
And if we are talking of free and fair elections, of course we know we have stakeholders. In stakeholders, we have Electoral Commission, we have candidates, we have security, we have Ugandans. So, every stakeholder has his own role to play in an election. In me, as a Ugandan, my role is to be peaceful, follow the law, go and vote.
And do what you are doing now.
The role of police is to protect me.
Not to stop you.
Not to stop me. For me, a Ugandan, I'm going to Kororo to hear from the candidate. Whether for NUP or whatever, I'm just going to listen. So that if I'm to vote, I'm informed. You get the point? But now you are stopping me. Then again you are asking, where is violence coming from? Then when you talk of youth, the youth is energetic, has nothing to lose. He's unemployed. He can just touch on a road, on a procession. He does not know where the procession is going to end. He will go till midnight. That is the use. You get? So that one should not really worry you. You get? But the whole point is, why are we seeing all this happening? Because you see, at the end of the day, we are Ugandans. Now, my brother talked about Electoral Commission giving candidates security. I told you, see, what you sow is what you reap. I want you to tell me, does Mr. Honorable Justice Vyabakama have any security that he gives? Or he gets security from
Exactly.
You understand? Do you know that the police commander can withdraw those officers without his knowledge? Do you know that? So, when we are talking this, and it is constitutional anyway. You see, when you read our constitution, the president has a lot of powers that is vested with him constitutionally. For example, he's the one who appoints the electoral commission boss. He's the one who appoints commissioners. He's the one who appoints IGP. That is a fact. And we can't rule it out. So what does it tell you? If, for example, I have appointed you, and now I call you, I say, Victor, there is a problem in Uganda, sort it out. Let's just use our common sense, leave alone the law. I have put you in my garden. I have said, Victor, I don't want that person in the garden. What happens? So at some point we must be civil and come alive to know the fact. So until when we change the constitution, maybe we reduce on the powers of some offices.
That is what he
I think it's when we will see, because remember, it is called free and fair.
Yes.
That is per Article 62.
Yes.
Free
And fair.
Do you want to tell me that the framers of Constitution did not know that it is excellent? They didn't know that there is good or very good. But they said, at least let the election be fair.
Yeah,
But look, even we fail to have fair. They were very, I think, they told themselves that the brutal truth. And they said, whereas we want good, but really we cannot afford good. But at least, let it be free and fair. The point is fair. Fair. We are looking for fairness. If we are to vote 51 and 1, you understand? But as I said, an election is a process. It's not an event. It starts from when you register, you go to check whether you are in the register. You upload the register. You go to vote. Then there is civic education.
Yeah, true.
Who is supposed to do civic education?
Electoral Commission.
If you read, no, it's not Electoral Commission. Read the Constitution. Read the Constitution, I think Article 38.
Yes.
It's not civic education.
Yeah, but the Electoral Commission is also one of the roles.
I'm telling you, it's Article 38. It's not Electoral Commission.
You also read
it is civic.
Like the Electoral Commission Act and Article 60.
You see, the Constitution.
61 on the functions.
Victor, I said we don't want to put emotion in this thing.
61 on the functions of the Electoral Commission.
Let's start with 38. You see, from 38 you are telling me 60. If you fail to understand, it's okay. Civic rights and activities.
Yes.
Every Ugandan citizen has a right to participate in affairs of government individually or through his or her representative in accordance with the law.
Exactly.
Every Ugandan has a right to participate in a peaceful activities to influence policies of government through civic organizations.
So who actually educates the public?
That's what I'm
No,
telling
basically,
you.
I think what he's saying,
Yes.
in Uganda, the constitution is the supreme law. So
Yes.
if the constitution tells us that,
Yes.
then we cannot rely on an act.
I think,
also saying-
gentlemen, I think we need to move a little bit faster.
Okay.
So here's the point. If I'm getting your point well, you're saying civic organizations can also do civic education.
Yes.
And he's saying Electoral Commission also has a responsibility to ensure voter education.
Okay, the point I was making, Victor, is you are a Ugandan, you are here and me.
Yes.
Ever since the process of election started, where have you seen civic education? When we were growing up, you remember, they would call a gathering in every village. and they tell people the affairs of the what? Of the government. When we talk of civic education, we don't only mean the elections. No.
It's okay.
We mean even the other affairs of the what?
It's a process.
That affects the people.
Such that
You
they're able
understand?
to make an informed...
So I think it is also...
Martin, I want you to summarize in 30 seconds the point.
Yes. So the point I'm making is that every stakeholder has a role to play.
Yeah, true.
You understand? So if I have a role to play, have I played it? If I'm a voter, have I voted?
Yes.
Or I'm just waiting to say they rigged me,
Uh-huh.
when actually I have not voted.
Exactly.
You understand? I have issues with elites, and I'm sorry to say. Elites on election day, it's when they want to go to the farm. You get? Now the villagers go and vote. Now after voting, you are waiting for the candidate to hire you who didn't vote. Because it means you don't even know the process of voting.
Okay.
You understand?
Thank
So
you.
there is a problem. And we must come to life the fact that as Ugandans, it's our duty, it's our law, actually, to give civic education to our colleagues.
Absolutely.
You understand? It's our law to vote. Security has its own law. Electoral Commission has its own law. And also candidates have the law to play in a peaceful
Absolutely.
election.
Thank you very much. We are streaming live on YouTube. So if you have your YouTube, you could just go in, search U24 Television, and send through your comment. I'll be reading them shortly in the next few minutes. Just in 1 minute, Jack, I wanted you to speak about the role of the Electoral Commission. How can it ensure that there is transparency in everything? Of course, we have started from a bad note already. There are candidates who have not been nominated. You see, this time we don't have an independent candidate for the first time ever since we went for multi-party elections. So what is the role of the Electoral Commission in this? Just in 1 minute.
Thank you, President John. Briefly, I would like to hint something on the security bag before I forget. It is Grace Ibingira who said that fate is a double crosser. My elder brother Victor here, whom I respect so much, talked about the opposition candidates being blocked and stuff like that. We have the Public Order Management Bill. The person who initiated that bill,
It's an act, not a bill.
sorry, an act. When that act was being
Enacted, he was a
on the person who initiated it, the initiator.
Yes.
That is Honorable, former Honorable Mama Mbabazi.
Yes.
He looked bamboozled. He looked puzzled. I remember. I'm still having that picture in my head when they stopped. I think it was in Lugazi. I was so surprised. A lot of history kept on coming back about Grace Ibingira's word. So, my brother Victor, as security does its work, let us remember these things. Fate is a double crosser.
Yeah.
Today you might be in the NRM and you're doing all these things. And I tell people, I have politicians I do some work for. Even today there are some people I was with. I told them, fate is a double crosser. Don't do these things because you're in positions of power.
They just rigged him.
You get my problem. I know it's true. So and that is my take home point about security and our entire thing. Then briefly about the youth, I would like to tell him something that I've really appreciated about one political party in Uganda. That's the National Unity Platform. That party, even if you disagree with it, you have to respect it. For example, it has started something that I'm starting to appreciate. It has started putting us, who consider ourselves to be more worthy citizens than the other. Like the example you've just given, like they have how can you refuse to give Honorable Seguna a lawyer and all that, then you give Matthias Walukaga, an artist. An artist has the same share on this country as you. That is the beauty about that party, that they have put, they have not just talked about Article 1 of our Constitution. They are putting it into action. that you, the elites of this country, who consider yourselves more worthy citizens than the rest, they are putting you in your positions. This country has
I think
been
even the leader of NRM has done that, because we have ministers who are musicians.
exactly, even in NRM, because when you look at the 1980 general elections, it is exactly what NUP is doing that was done in that election. Because the exact names that...
How do you address the concern of the quality of the leadership? If you have a minister who is a musician and a minister, for example, of health who is a doctor, who would you go with?
Well, President, when you take a crown into a palace, it cannot remain a palace. It will turn into a circus. Yes, it will turn into a circus.
Thank you very much. I gave you 1 minute. Now I want to give Victor a minute so that he tells us about the duties of Ugandans. Time is not our best friend, so just in 1 minute. Ugandans, what responsibility does the law bestow on them in this period, electioneering period? Because they are heated. They are ready to receive marwa, waragi, money and all that. But what does the law bestow on them as their responsibility?
Yeah, thank you so much, Your Excellency. First and foremost, the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda actually enjoins citizens with the responsibilities, especially during election time. And when you look at Article 59, actually provides for the right of citizens to vote. Okay. Yeah. And when you relate it to Article 1 that provides for that the power belongs to the people, it means, and under Clause 4, Clause 4 provides that you and me shall decide on who should lead me, isn't it? Or who should lead us. Okay. So meaning the Constitution gives mandate to citizens. You know, when you look at our Constitution very carefully, you find that it's one of the best constitutions that we have. Just like my brothers have been saying, that Constitution, the framers of the Constitution, one mistake they made is that they actually gave much powers to the president. That one I can authoritatively agree. But
would there be a president without power?
No,
Doesn't that negate the whole idea of being a president?
No, it doesn't. Because when you look at, when you look at the Kenyan Constitution, there are some key positions in the country or in the government that are not supposed to be appointed by the president. They are through a vetting committee. Which committee actually, before you reach there, you know, the committee will know we have picked the best material. Okay? So that person works independently without any person, without the influence of another person. Okay? But here, I agree entirely that the framers of our Constitution made one mistake of giving the president most of the powers. Okay? So all these problems, much as you do say ABCD, when you have not actually dealt with the Constitution and actually amended some provisions of the Constitution, we still have a mess. Okay? Yeah. Now, the Constitution gives citizens rights to vote, to participate in an election. Those are some of the duties that we as citizens of this country are supposed to do. However, many of our people shun away from participating in those things because when someone says an election is already decided, it's already decided how, when actually you have the duty to go and prove it wrong. Okay? Yes. Oh, you know, there are some other countries that I've seen, even where the president has appointed the electoral commission, but because people have massively voted against that person, the electoral commission as that board, as that commission cannot actually declare a person who is not elected when actually the majority have voted against that person. Okay? So it is our duty to actually sensitize the public and tell people that it is our role, it's our mandate to come up and register and vote and participate in an election. Just like he said, most times you find people who actually have gone to school. And the ones actually discouraging people from voting. So if you discourage someone from voting and the person who is actually elected gets 6 million votes, when actually 18 million are registered to vote, then that tells you that there is a problem that we all need to address as Ugandans.
Okay, thank you very much. So Martin, I'm also giving you 1 minute, especially I want you to use it in terms of the aspect of addressing grievances that arise during this period of election campaign. Tomorrow, for example, I don't know your candidate. Suppose your candidate is stopped from campaigning. Does he have a recourse? If he's stopped from addressing a rally, does he have a recourse? These who are stopped from being nominated, they didn't submit enough signatures. MPs are going to be nominated next soon. The role of dispute resolution in this period?
Of course, when you meet such a challenges as a candidate, at this stage, you make a formal complaint to Electoral Commission at this stage. But when you make that formal complaint, in case the challenge persists, now when people vote, after voting, in case you want to petition, this formal complaint you made gives your case weight. Because you will be saying from word go, it started from nomination. This happened. But the challenge we know, the problem, the mistake we normally make is that we verbally complain. Now, when we reach there at the stage where you are having a petition in the High Court, you are not able to prove that actually from inception
I complained.
I formally complained. Yes, that's what happened.
Okay.
Yes, at this stage, you complain to the Electoral Commission. They have stopped me, this has happened. The Electoral Commission at some point called the security agents, stakeholders meeting, and they address that issue.
Yeah. So local council leaders, those candidates can complain to the district electoral commission offices, returning officers.
Returning officer is the electoral commission boss in the district. But the point I'm making is that you must make a formal complaint. People have been doing it, but you make a phone call. They have stopped me, blah, blah, blah. But that one, you cannot now, in future, you cannot now back it because you don't have evidence.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Martin. I saw, sorry, time is not our friend. I saw some people were following, Imentegi and many others. We are following and sent, but time is not our best ally. So I would request that we give our parting shots. Perhaps you could embed it in our parting shots later on. I start with Jack, just in 30 seconds as we conclude.
Thank you, President. I would like to tell each and everyone who is taking part in this electoral process. One, let us not avoid formality if you're a candidate. Like my brother here said, don't call the media. Make formal complaints. That is point number one. Do not go away from formality. Point number two, I'll tell the security agents to make reference to the words of Grace Ibingia that fate is double crosser.
Thank you very much.
These people as animals. These are fellow citizens. These are your countrymen. These are your friends and your sisters and your mothers and whatever. So let us treat each other nicely. I mean, it's just a short period of time. And to the elites, to you people who are seated here in suits, very smart, go and vote. Don't go on the farms.
So you left there suit such that you condemn us. Okay, then to you, Martin. Over to you. Thank you very much, Jack Katiba Musoke.
For me, I want to really remind Ugandans that you cannot give what you don't have. And if you have a weak door, So you want to tell me that you don't cross because the door is weak? However much our elections have issues, but to go and vote, let your vote be counted. I would comfortably sit here and say my vote was rigged if I voted. Yeah. But if you don't vote, what are you telling us? So let every Ugandan play his role. Go and vote. If you have issues, go to court. Judiciary will do its part, or electoral commission, but also have evidence. Have evidence. People are dishing money. You don't complain. You wait when you lose, you go to complain. You don't have evidence. I want to thank our viewers for giving us your ample time to listen to us. Have a blessed night and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Martin. Over to you, Victor.
First and foremost, I want also to add my voice to what my brothers have said. One, I call upon all stakeholders during this election to play their part. But as you play your part, do it legally. Yeah, because I saw a certain video where police officers were blacking out posters of Bob Wine, and someone actually even shot a bullet around. That was unfortunate, and I really felt pity of such police officers where they train from, because even blacking off that poster is illegal.
It's an electoral offense.
It's an electoral offense. So that was so bad. Two, as we participate in these elections, like he said, when you are complaining, when you are writing letters of complaint to electoral commission, make sure you put in mind the timelines within which you are supposed to file those complaints to electoral commission. Actually, recently I filed a complaint for my client. It was supposed to have been filed at the district, but the returning officer actually refused to receive. She actually told us, you go and file it to electoral commission in Kampala. We had to move to Kampala and file. We filed in Kampala. That's why I wanted to inform you that those complaints, most district returning officers would not actually want them to be filed at the district. They want them here at the center, at the headquarters. So I call upon those people to always put in mind of the timelines. And then lastly,
but I think we need to advise them that they should receive those complaints. If a complaint is on a local level, local election, exactly, then as a returning officer, you should be receiving that.
Yes, I was advise the returning officers to do their work.
I tried talking to her, but because I was not near, she couldn't actually understand what I was meaning. Okay. And lastly, when you want to petition electoral malpractice, please kindly, like he said, kindly have evidence, take pictures of people who give money, hate speech. All those are electoral malpractice. Okay. And please contact lawyers. They will actually assist you in the best manner. Okay. Thank you so much. I wish our listeners a good night.
Thank you very much. Thank you for watching U24 television. This evening, we are speaking about the road to peace. We want peace. The legal position on holding a non-violent, free and fair election. I had Jack Kateba Musoke, who is a lawyer. I had Byomhanji Martin, a lawyer. I had Victor Odori, a lawyer. And thank you for watching wherever you've followed us from. This program, The Checkpoint, comes to you every Tuesday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And with me, I'm John Viana Yevare. See you next week on Tuesday. Next is U24 Cinema. Thank you and have a good night.